everybody. We're here at the Seniors Cookout, the annual Congo Funeral Home Seniors Cookout. And I just want to know from you, Velda, what are your plans for city treasurer when you get elected?
Well, my plans for city treasurer are first and foremost to make sure that the business of the city taxpayers is handled, keeping our city money safe, ensuring the pension plan and the other investments are secure. And then beyond that, I want to really help revitalize this city. We need jobs and economic development here, and I intend to be at the table as city treasurer to help make that happen.
I appreciate that. And I want everyone to know that this is Cherry Congo, and I definitely am voting for Velda for city treasurer. I hope all of you will come along with me and vote Velda Potter for city treasurer. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to The Bottom Line. News about your neighborhood and its condition. News that will allow you to make informed decisions. From downtown to Dover and everywhere in between, it's news that reaches the residents of Wilmington and Newcastle County. News that's real, relevant, revealing. You've got it. It's The Bottom Line. I am one of your hosts this evening, Nicole D. Surrett. So happy that you are with us on this Labor Day. And we were fortunate enough not to be a part of the wrath of Hermine. The weather was beautiful yesterday and today. Hopefully you enjoyed your last vacation for a while. So we're happy that you're here. We have a studio full of wonderful guests. So I'm going to keep my remarks short, and then I'm going to have you help me welcome my first guest for this evening. As you know, Kaleidoscope, Empowering Survivors, Mind, Body, and Spirit is right around the corner. The kickoff event is Friday, September 23rd. I'm calling it Cocktails and Comedy. In case you didn't know, our chemotherapy drugs are referred to as cocktails. This will be a comedy show featuring comics from across the country who are cancer survivors. This event is open to men as well as women. Saturday, September 24th, ladies only. Come out and experience ESP, empowerment sessions and pampering. I believe that there are things that we can do to take care of our health that don't require prescription medications. So your empowerment session topics include the benefit of meditation, mindfulness, stress management, exercise, nutrition, and understanding environmental toxins. All of the ladies who attend, I just want you to feel extra special. So I am partnering with various organizations to offer complimentary manicures, massages, as well as health checks. If you give me a call, my office number is 610-812-9997. Again, 610-812-9997. And mention that you saw me on Channel 28. I will give you an extra bonus for signing up for both days. So this is a limited time only, and the clock is ticking. You have until midnight this Wednesday, September 7th. So give me a call, ask for more information, find out how you can get tickets. You want to be a part of Kaleidoscope. So, you know, I'm always talking about health and wellness. I have a young lady in Studio B right now who is here to share some information about an organization whose mission is to advocate for leadership development and gender equity in health, wellness, economic empowerment, and in education. Now I flubbed that, but she's gonna help me get it straight. Help me welcome Councilwoman Hanifa Shabazz.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm well, Nicole. Thank you so much.
And you know, everybody knows who you are. You know, your face is all over the place, and
Yes.
you have been working for the community for a number of years.
Yes.
And something special is happening this weekend, September 10th and 11th. Is that correct?
That's correct. As a member of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Delaware chapter, we are hosting our My Sister's Keeper Empowerment Weekend. It starts on Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it will consist of workshops, 2 keynote speakers. Also, we will have a candidate forum that will discuss the city council members that are running for election. We will have candidate forums that ask them questions regarding their positions on the education and for our young girls. It also will have a legacy awards celebration where we will present 3 individuals and organizations from our community that have demonstrated and supported the mission of the Coalition of 100 Black Women.
Great, great. And then that's just all on Saturday.
That's just on Saturday. Yes, it is an empowerment weekend.
Okay, so then what's happening on Sunday?
On Sunday, it is our historical annual Gentlemen's Cook-Off, which is our stellar fundraiser that helps to provide monies for our scholarships and to support our advocacy programs.
Great, great.
The whole weekend, the Friday activities has a price of $75, and the Gentlemen's Cook-Off, which many people know is one of our stellar events where we have cuisine cooked by individuals, different men in all different walks of life, who come and compete with their best dishes.
Okay.
And you get a chance to taste all of the great foods that our gentlemen cook. And it's just a great night full of great cuisine and also for a great purpose. We have been doing this throughout our 20-year history as a chapter here in Delaware and have been able to raise over $250,000 in scholarship dollars.
Wow.
So we really encourage the community to come out and join us on Saturday, where we will have women coming together to hear and discuss issues about how we do all the things that we do and how do we do it and continue to support each other. 2 major keynote speakers. We have Dr. Sonia Banks, okay, and we also have Miss Angela Ford, who is an entrepreneur. So, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to come and support this great event. It all will take place at the Hercules Plaza, 1313 North Market Street. And it will just be something that we a historical that you would not want to miss. And it is for such a great cause.
Great. And how can they get in touch with you for more information or to purchase their tickets?
Well, they can always go to the Coalition's website, and that's www.ncbwde.org, or they can call 302-658-0410 for tickets.
Great.
Or they can reach out to me as well, or any member of the National Coalition 100 Black Women.
Great. Now, I know tonight in the studio, you don't have them on, but you wear a lot of hats in the community. I had no idea that you were a part of this organization as well. So kind of what keeps you involved as heavily as you are in what's going on in Wilmington? Well,
all the things that I am involved in all have synergy. Even before I got involved in public service, I was a public servant doing the cultural presentations with the African Festival, the Drumbeat newspaper, and also Food for the Soul and Body, which was with my restaurant, Hanifa's Kitchen. But the mission of the coalition to support and address the issues that address Black women and Black girls. Of course, as a Black woman and having nothing but sisters and daughters myself, I thought that's also in line of what my interest is as a citizen of the city of Wilmington. And it just falls right into my public service work and continuing my support as going on as a candidate for the president of Wilmington City Council. All of it works together.
Great, great. I love that word, synergy.
Yes.
Okay, so next time I see you on the street, synergy, that's just what's going to ring in my head.
Everything all works together, correct?
Yeah, it does. It does. It truly does. So I am so glad that you were able to come on the show this evening and share information. This weekend, September 10th and 11th, it sounds like an event you won't want to miss. So we want you to stay tuned. We have much more on the bottom line. We're going to run a commercial about this event, and then we're going over to Shakeem in Studio A.
Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. And on a quiet day, you can hear her breathing. In celebration of our 20th anniversary, the Delaware chapter of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Inc. presents an action-packed empowerment weekend at the scenic Hercules Plaza, 1313 North Market Street in Wilmington, Delaware. Saturday, September 10th, My Sister's Keeper Empowerment Summit and Legacy Awards celebration will take place beginning at 8:30 to 2 p.m. This summit will convene hundreds of women and teens to dialogue in an interactive living room kind of conversation with noted entrepreneur and author Angela Ford. This will be followed by workshops and a political forum on the policy regarding the quality of life for Black women and girls. The afternoon closes with the My Sister's Keeper Awards Luncheon, which will honor unsung sheroes across generations. On Sunday, September 11th from 12 to 4, the Gentleman's Cook-Off, Cooking for a Cause, a soulful Sunday brunch, will raise funds to support the Coalition's mission, and professional and amateur chefs will tempt us with their culinary arts. The music will be to the rhythm of Marcus Johnson, who was a headliner for this year's Clifford Brown Jazz Festival. For ticket information, please visit ncbwde.org or call 302-658-0410.
Hello everyone. I'm glad to be back here on the Bottom Line. Today I have an amazing guest, Connie Drummond,
Hi.
Lady C, the playwright. I brought her on today because we have some very good things to talk about as far as what Lady C Productions have been into for the past couple of months. What's been going on?
As you know, Lady C Productions opened in January of 2010. Well, this year, in May of 2016, we opened our black box theater called Artscape down at 205 Market Street in Wilmington. So we've been doing some great things down there, promoting independent artists and, you know, allowing them to have shows and things there. But this topic for today is our stage play, 12 Angry Women. That's going to be our first production. Oh, cool. That's going to be our first production that we're having over at Artscape.
Okay. So can you give us a little bit more information about, you know, when the show is, what comes with the show?
Okay, well, 12 Angry Women, first off, it's a show about 12 women who sit on a jury, and they have to decide the life and death of a young man who was just tried for murder. The timing was perfect for this show because here in Delaware we were talking about the abolishment of the death penalty, so that's what made me want to bring, you know, this particular play to Delaware. It's actually going to be a dinner theater. The tickets are $25, and
That's
we
it?
actually, yes, $25. You get your food and you get your play, and the dates are September 10th and 11th. September 17th and 18th. So that's 2 Saturdays and 2 Sundays.
Nice.
The Saturday shows are at 7 p.m. and the Sunday shows are at 4.
Nice. So what made you open up Artscape?
Well, as an independent artist, it's very expensive to produce your own, your own productions. When you go to places like the Grand and DuPont Theater and those places like that, it's thousands of dollars a day. It's very expensive. So I thought that if I just had my own little small black box theater, not only could I produce plays for myself, but for other independent artists with small budgets. And we would also have our rehearsal space too. So
Nice.
That's the baby this year.
So hypothetically, if I was to want to put on an event, like how would I go through that process? Like what would I need to do?
Well, what you would need to do is call me at 267-679-2711 and come down and get a tour of the place and see if you like it, and then we can talk business.
How many people fit in that place?
Standing room is 293.
Whoa.
It is 135 banquet, and gallery style is 87.
Nice.
Now every month we have a different artist that we showcase their art, virtual, their visual arts. So we just got a new artist in there yesterday, and she has hundreds of pictures all over Artscape. It's beautiful.
Nice. I might have to check that out.
Yeah.
So Artscape, me and you've been around for quite a while, almost 10 years.
Right.
Throughout the play industry, we did a couple plays back in the day.
Right.
But now we have a new venture.
Yes.
I have now, partnered with Artscape, and I will have my first event at Artscape. This is promoting the 3 Ps, peace, power, and positivity. A lot of people in Wilmington talk about there's nothing to do. On Friday nights, there's nothing to do. Saturday nights, there's nothing to do. So you have to go to D.C., you have to go to Baltimore, you have to go to Philly just to get some type of event or go to some type, or just have a relaxing day.
Right.
So on October 22nd, Saturday, October 22nd, from 6 to 10 p.m., we will be having I will be having, I'm so used to saying we.
I know.
I will be having a open mic night called The Night to Live. And this will be such an amazing event. We have people coming, I have people coming from Philadelphia, New Jersey, and also Baltimore and DC that will be coming performing at this event. We have 2 spoken word artists coming from Philadelphia. We have 2 bands that are coming. It's going to be an awesome night full of amazing music, poetry, and live art. I would also like to let everyone know the tickets will be on sale on the 15th. Tickets will actually be the tangible tickets will be on sale on the 15th. However, if you want to purchase your tickets earlier, just give me a call at 302-521-3041, and you'll be able to reserve your seating. The tickets are $15 early bird. That is until October 1st. The tickets are $15. After October 1st and the day of the event, the tickets are $20. And then we have $100 VIP tables available as well. That sit 4 people, and it also comes with a complimentary bottle of wine. So I'm excited. There's more of a combo coming from Lady C Productions and Shaquem. Right. I'm just excited to actually put this on. I'm glad that there's starting to become more things that happen in the city of Wilmington. Yeah. We're not just known about shootings and death and all that. We got some exciting things coming. So please stay tuned. I told y'all to stay tuned. I had some good stuff coming for you guys. Good stuff, in the words of Pastor Ty, who's not here today. Good stuff. But again, just give your dates again for the 12 Angry Women.
Okay, 12 Angry Women Dinner and a Show is Saturday, September 10th and 17th at 7 p.m. and Sundays, September 11th and 18th at 4 p.m. And I'd like to also mention that every first Friday there is a free artistic event and reception at Artscape from 6 to 10, so come on down.
And your tickets are?
Oh, the tickets are $25. You get to eat and see a show.
And where can I get the tickets?
You can get the tickets from, you give me a call at 267-679-2711. Being that the first show is on Saturday, our websites will be closing down in 2 days. So if you give me a call, I can make arrangements for you to come by Artscape and pick up your tickets.
Y'all heard that. Y'all better get y'all tickets before they run out. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It's food and it's excitement. You don't want to miss it. Again, we are about to go to a short break, and then we'll be back over to Set B.
All right, welcome back again to the Bottom Line. It's one thing about live television, you got to be ready all the time. I'm just happy to be here with my good friend and my neighbor and soon to be our city treasurer, Velda Potter. I've been, I told somebody the other day that the city seemed like it's turning purple, not blue or red, but purple, because I've been traveling around the city. I'm very interested in politics, and I just see Velda Potter everywhere. So with that, how's the campaign coming?
We're everywhere.
Everywhere. It's everywhere.
It's coming along really well.
Yeah. I've been traveling. I made it my business to travel in different districts just to see how well people are being received. And quite frankly, I haven't seen anybody more received, at least by the signs in people's yards and people talking to me about the treasurer's person in the person of yourself. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm just stunned by how much people talk about you. And the other day, when we were together at PS DuPont, people were coming to the barbershop saying, I didn't know she was so well loved. They looked at the staff, the number of people that came out to support you, the teachers. And I said that all I know from the time that we were together even in school, that you were received very well. And it seemed like it's just matriculated over into the campaign. People find you to be extremely credible, very knowledgeable, skill sets undeniable. And it's important. We go all the way back even during the time of Jim Seals. If you can maybe help us a little bit about that. What happened then that brought that situation to fruition?
Yeah, well, as you said, the campaign is going really well, and I am so thankful for the receptivity that people have shown. I've been knocking on doors, and people are taking out the time to listen, and I'm listening and hearing what's on their minds. And, you know, kind of going back to probably how all this started, my service in the public in this way. It goes back to the Sills administration.
Okay.
At that time, I was actually employed with the DuPont company.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and I had been there 15 years at that time, and out of the blue, sort of a call came from Mayor Sills, and asking if I would consider coming, working to help the city get out of what at the time was just a really almost horrific financial situation. The city had at that point had 5 consecutive years of deficits, and the confidence in the city's ability to manage its finances, the projections just across the board was really at an all-time low. I was thrilled at the notion of perhaps coming in to lend a hand to a city that had given so much to me. I mean, I'm a native of Wilmington.
I know that.
Riverside.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Public school system, the whole 9 yards. And so I knew what it meant in my life to have people who were willing to step up and lend a hand when a need existed. But I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do that because I had a flourishing career at DuPont underway.
Right.
But DuPont was very generous, and they loaned me to the city. I continued to be a DuPont employee, but I reported to the city every day, on the job, and served as director of finance with the understanding that I would be coming back to DuPont after about a year and a half. So I did, in fact, stay with the city for 18 months. So a year and a half I was with the city. And in that time, just helped orchestrate some changes in the finance department and working with other departments throughout the city and helping them see and understand their role in helping to manage the city's money, even within the context of their other responsibilities, real estate and housing, public works, but all interweaved in that is your budget and how you spend that money and looking for ways to be more efficient. We undertook a major collection effort. We installed the first pilot for automated meter reads.
Okay.
So people who get their meters read, well, everybody thought the city now gets their meters read automatically, so you get a lot fewer estimated reads.
So that was a program that you guys initiated back then?
That was one of my signature programs. And the culmination of that was overall a $5.1 million surplus to the city.
You said something one time we were talking, it was psychological, but it was so impactful for me, I haven't forgot it. You talked about a $1 turnaround.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody asked me about that, and I said, the next time I get a chance to talk to her, how important was the psychological advantage of turning a corner, even if it was just for $1?
Well, for me, it was almost the key to the whole equation, because you have to be able to envision the change that you want to affect, and you have to have a very clear goal in that process, something that you're aiming for. And, I had a year and a half at most to have an impact. So in an area that was brand new to me. So I really didn't know how much we could accomplish in that time. So to go from 5 straight years of deficits, and at one of those years it was an $11 million deficit.
Wow.
So that turnaround to get from 11 deficit to a $5 million surplus, that's a $16 million surplus. You got to get from 11 to 0, and then from 0 to 5.
Wow.
So what I tried to establish in the mindset of people within the city, and especially within the finance department, was we're going to have a surplus even if it's $1, and because it's a surplus.
It's a surplus.
It's a surplus, and people were receptive to that. I think everybody felt, let's hunker down and see if we can do it, and we did it.
And I heard that even or Ed Johnson attested this, our sports guy, is that a lot of times we find ourselves, basketball coaches said, a shooter just needs to see the ball go through the hoop to get turned around.
Yes.
And I brought that right into the fact that if we could turn around in just $1, that would be great.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can see why so many people in the city are supporting Velda Potter Jones for city treasurer. It's not just the mechanics, but it's the whole envisionment of how we're doing this campaign. Listen, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back. More from the bottom line in just a moment.
Everybody, we're here at the Seniors Cookout, the annual Congo Funeral Home Seniors Cookout. And I just want to know from you, Velda, what are your plans for city treasurer when you get elected?
Well, my plans for city treasurer are first and foremost to make sure that the business of the city taxpayers is handled, keeping our city money safe, ensuring the pension plan and the other investments are secure. And then beyond that, I want to really help revitalize this city. We need jobs and economic development here, and I intend to be at the table as city treasurer to help make that happen.
I appreciate that. And I want everyone to know that this is Cherry Congo, and I definitely am voting for Velda for city treasurer. I hope all of you will come along with me and vote Velda Potter for city treasurer. And I thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the bottom line. We're happy to be here today talking with our candidate for city treasurer, Velda Potter Jones. You heard in the earlier part of the segment how she psychologically turned the city around from $11 million deficit. Even if they could get to $1, it changed the perspective of how we got there. Let's move forward. Let's fast forward a little bit from that time. How did it come about that Jack Markell, who was the state treasurer, was then elected governor?
Yes.
Of the 500,000, 800,000 people in the state, all these qualified accountants, and how did Velda Potter Jones become the state treasurer?
The governor was elected as governor. He was state treasurer prior to that, as you said. And according to the way that role gets filled, he makes an appointment. And he knew my background. He knew the work that I had done, not only in the corporate sector, but also in my tenure with government. I was in a consulting role at the time, so I had the ability to commit to a 2-year term of service. And that's what it was. It was the 2 years to serve out his term. And so he asked me if I would be willing to do that. Much like the motivation when I came to work with Mayor Sills here in the city, there was a similar but different motivation for me at that time. If you'll recall, we were right in the throes of the Great Recession, and people were losing their investments, their savings, their 401k plans were plummeting. People were losing their homes. Foreclosures were just en masse. And Governor Markell had started the Economic Empowerment Money School.
I remember that school.
And when he started it, it was primarily with a focus on women, to help women be more informed and savvy and knowledgeable about how to manage money. And it had just started to expand into some other areas. I knew that whoever came in behind him would sort of make or break the continuance of that effort. And I just felt it was so important and so critical for the empowerment of people to have access to that kind of knowledge, that was the impetus and the motivation for me to really want to agree to step into that role, so that I could champion that. And in addition to obviously managing the state's treasury over that time, but the real give back to the community and to the citizens of Delaware for me was being able to really help anchor that initiative. And I'm really proud to say that the Delaware Financial Literacy Institute still reigns as the premier financial literacy and empowerment entity for our state, and frankly proved to be a shining example of best standards for our country.
Let me ask you something. You brought up something that was kind of, a lot of people probably didn't maybe catch it. A lot of houses from the nuclear family where the male and the father handled most of the finance, generated most of the finance, and during the time you said in the earlier stages of the money school, that they had a program designed for women. As we know, a lot of times, especially in not just the African American family, but a lot of women are the principal breadwinner now and are the person involved. Would you envision, because I find this so important as a city treasurer in Wilmington, that you could develop something similar like that here? Because I find that for whatever the reasons are, we know what the realities are. And it's important for a lot of young women to understand finances. You've done such a wonderful job with it. You've been so marvelous. I tell you, it's been wonderful just being around you and that kind of ambiance around you about what you do fiscally. And I think that it would be important for a lot of young women, especially a lot of young minority women, to learn the importance of money management. Do you see something like that maybe being a pilot program here in the city that would emulate something that you did at the state level?
Well, absolutely. You know, the Delaware Financial Literacy Institute exists, and it exists to serve our entire state. I think it's an issue of making, increasing the awareness and bringing those programs, meeting people where they are with those programs. So directly in the communities and the neighborhoods right within the city. So no doubt there are some people within the city who have already taken advantage of some of those programs, but there's absolutely an opportunity, and I'm very committed to making sure that city residents, women, children, because I did a lot of work with TD Bank doing school takeover to help teach young children how to save and basic fundamental principles of money and money management and saving. So that is definitely a commitment that I have. You know, you mentioned that things have changed somewhat, where traditionally perhaps there was a more male dominating wage earner, and that's not necessarily the case now. But even in that case, women are still looked to in the home to manage that money.
Yes, it was.
To make it.
Because my mother managed the money,
Absolutely.
even though my daddy
Your
made
dad
it.
might earn it, but your mother is charged with managing it.
Yeah.
You know, to set aside for the school clothes, to make sure enough to pay, you know, for the light bill, and to make sure that it all adds up at the end of the day, and to set aside enough for whatever future needs there are. So, so women are especially, it's especially important that they have those skills. And it's something that I very much continue to be committed to, and will be a cornerstone of my service.
A lot of
within
people
the
ask
city.
me. A lot of people always ask me. They say, "We know she's very likable, she's personable, and all these things lined up." But all these things are not just happenstance. You have some other kind of hard line criteria, and sometimes I tell people that it's important that we meet some qualifications. But you've done some hard work in schools and to accomplish certain criteria that puts you in a position to be successful. People ask me, did she go to school locally? We already know you're a local, a young girl from around this way. And I said, as far as I know, she's a Delawarean all the way through.
Yeah,
is that accurate?
That's accurate.
Okay.
I was actually born in West Virginia.
Okay.
My father was a coal miner. In fact, today's a special day because today's Labor Day.
Labor Day,
And
yes.
I walked in the parade today, as I really like to try to do as many Labor Days as I can in his honor, because he was a laborer. So that's where I was born, but I moved here when I was 2 years old, so I am Wilmingtonian through and through.
Okay.
And all of my education was local through college. I went to University of Delaware and received an engineering degree. The first African-American woman to receive a degree in engineering in the history of the University of Delaware.
That is wonderful.
And then after working for a couple of years in that field, I went to graduate school in Indiana. Mm-hmm. So that was a different experience living in the Midwest. And I received my master's degree in finance from Bloomington, Indiana. So I invested heavily in trying to prepare myself to be able to do the work that I've done over the years.
I want to just personally thank you for willing to sacrifice. A lot of times we don't realize the public servant side of yourself, that you could just go to corporate America, be very successful, but willing to give of yourself and to sacrifice your time in the city so that we all could benefit. I want to just thank you as a citizen and as a friend for the work that you do. And I want to say that we're supporting 100%. And if the way things are changing colors in the city is vindictive of what we're doing, we hope to hear from you September the 13th, sometime that evening, as you declared yourself you've been declared the winner of the city treasurer. So thank you again.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from Velda Potter. Now over to Studio C.
All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the sports segment of the show. Before I get to the trade that everybody's been talking about for the last couple of days, the Eagles made, I'm going to talk about some other things, and then I will get to the NFL. This past weekend, the college football season kicked off with a bang, as 3 of the top 10 teams were upset. First, number 13 Houston upset number 3 Oklahoma, 33-23. Next, unranked Wisconsin defeated number 6 LSU, 16-14, and unranked Texas defeated number 9 Notre Dame, 50-47 in double overtime, which was an exciting game. I watched that game last night. It was very exciting, and that was a good game. My pick to win the national championship, and the number 1 team in the country, is Alabama, rolled number 17 Southern Cal 52-6, and again, I think they're going to win the national championship. They just look very good on all aspects of the ball. Other impressive wins among ranked teams was number 8 Michigan crushed Hawaii 63-3. Number 5 Ohio State crushed Bowling Green 77-10. Number 19 Oklahoma State clobbered Southeast Louisiana 61-7. And number 15 Baylor beat up Northwestern State 55-7. Tonight should be a good matchup, as number 4 Florida State is going up against number 12 Mississippi. A lot of people are picking Florida State to be in the championship game or make the playoffs at least. So that should be a very good and entertaining game tonight. I want to see that game because I want to see how well those teams do. Okay, on to the major leagues. Major League Baseball is heating up. With less than a month to go in the season, there are 3 teams within 3 games of each other in an American League East. That's Baltimore, Boston, and the Toronto Blue Jays. All other division leaders have comfortable leads except for the NL West leading LA Dodgers, who have a 3-game lead over the San Francisco Giants. It's going to get right testy in the next couple of weeks, because you got a lot of teams vying for the American League wild cards. There's 2 of them, and the National League wild cards. Teams such as Boston, Baltimore, my Yankees, Detroit, Kansas City, and Houston, all battling for 2 wild card spots. In the National League, there's teams battling for the wild card. New York, St. Louis, San Francisco, Pittsburgh's on outside looking in and Miami's looking in. All right, on to the U.S. Open. Big sister Venus Williams lost today in her match. However, little sister Serena became the all-time leader in major tournament wins with her win today. She beat a young lady that's given her the number 308 in Grand Slam events in tournament wins, and edging the record set by Roger Federer. Up-and-coming star Madison Keys lost yesterday. Now, Serena moved into the quarterfinals and need to win or move to the finals to retain her #1 ranking in the world. This is because she has only played in 8 tournaments this year, while other players have played more than 20 tourneys. And every tournament you play in a calendar year gives you points towards the rankings as well as how far you go in the tournaments. In every tournament Serena plays, she either wins or reaches the final. That's why she's still #1. And that's why I believe she's going to be #1. She's trying to break the record set by Steffi Graf of the #1 being #1, ranked #1 in the world. Okay, the season starts off. NFL season starts off with the Super Bowl rematch as Carolina's Panthers are playing the Denver Broncos. I think the Panthers will win this game. The Philadelphia Eagles traded away quarterback Sam Bradford to the Minnesota Vikings for a 2017 first-round pick and a 2018 4th-round conditional pick. Now, a lot of people think that this pick was very good for the Eagles. I don't believe so, because it just looks like to me that, I don't know, we got a rookie, Carson Wentz, who's going to be, who's recovering from broken ribs. And I had broken ribs before, like 20 years ago. And I tell you, it takes a long time to recover from the injury. And this injury happened about 4 weeks ago. I don't believe he's going to be ready. The Eagles are going to struggle. And I think that I don't know if they throw the season away or not. We just have to see what happens with that. But a lot of people think that they made the right decision because they're getting the #1 pick, which they didn't have next year. Also, Colin Kaepernick made the roster of the 49ers as a backup core QB. I didn't think he was going to make the roster. In closing, Rory McIlroy won the Duquesne Bank going 15 under. And the NASCAR, Martin Truex Jr. held off Kevin Harvick to win Bojangles Southern 500 at Darlington Raceway in Darlington, South Carolina. In closing, I want to say that here we go again with Lawrence Taylor. Again, he has a DUI charge, and this guy seems to keep following trouble. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but he needs to get himself right. Okay, we're going back over to Studio A with Charles. Everybody have a good evening. Take care.
Good. I'm glad to be back. Happy Labor Day to everyone. I was happy to march in the parade with my wife in the ILA, with Booby Jack, Kamoko, and a bunch of other friends, and it was just outstanding Labor Day. My father-in-law worked down at the docks. Many of my family members, I'm a union guy, always been union. Before I get into some other things, I just want to make sure that everybody know we got some very important elections coming up. And as you all know, my wife is running for city treasurer. You know I endorse her. I'm also supporting Sam Guy, Tyrone Johnson, Penrose Hollins, and Tom Gordon. I think those are good qualified candidates who can run and keep the city, the county, and help out with the state run and help me with the state. Ed mentioned that we got an Eagles, we got a quarterback from the Eagles. We got all these Eagle fans in here. And what surprised me about 2 weeks ago, the Eagles were going to the Super Bowl with Bradford. Now that he's with Minnesota, I asked Reverend Cal, I asked Ed, I asked Raymond Graham, Gene Thomas, does that mean we're going to the Super Bowl? I asked Nicole and her husband who's sitting out there. I can't even think of his name. I'm just calling him Mr. Surratt. I'll think of his name. So that means we're going to the Super Bowl because we got a bum quarterback from the Eagle, right?
I'm an Eagles fan.
I know you're Eagles.
He got jokes.
Let me say one other thing. When it comes to Kaepernick, who's with the 49ers and his protests, every time everybody else protests, they say, hey, freedom of speech. What's the matter with freedom of speech? So he's expressing his freedom of speech. Some people like it, some people don't. But I believe in freedom of speech.
Yes. So one thing that we didn't, excuse me, talk about today.
What's that?
was the fact that it's somebody's birthday.
Oh, we sure did. No, we gotta say happy birthday.
We definitely have to say happy
it's
birthday.
my wife's birthday, Vela's birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I've sung it to her already, so
Yes.
and she's gonna get a good dinner. So
Look at there over 25.
Look, that 16. 16.
Hold on. That ain't legal, baby. That ain't legal. That ain't legal.
That's right.
Black Lives Matter.
She is having a party at Lavish this Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're going to have a great time. Donations only $20. There's a whole lot of people coming. Come out and join us, have a good time, and just have some fun. But go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to you.
One of the things you just said was freedom of speech, right?
Yes.
So that means I'm allowed to say what I want to say when I want to say.
That's
Okay.
right.
So there is nobody, no man, woman, boy, girl, child, blue, black, yellow, green, blue, purple, whatever, that is more qualified for the city treasurer position other than Velda Jones Potter. So the best birthday gift that you can give to the city and to her would be to put her in that seat and let her do what she does.
That's right. Yes. That's great. So, you know, it's Labor Day.
It is.
You know, we got a lot of people who want to work. We got to put people to work.
Yes.
And I've been working on this port project. It's my legislation that is doing the expansion of the port, which will bring in 10,000 jobs. Now, when I look at these numbers and as I do a lot of other things, I had to consult with my advisor. Guess who my advisor is?
Who's your advisor?
Velda Jones Potter. But there's a lot going on, and we need jobs in the city, and we got to maintain safety. So I'm going to turn it over to you and just listen to what you had to say for the rest of the night.
Now, when it comes to the labor, it was crazy because I was just talking to my friend yesterday who actually works for the labor, works for the ports and down at the docks. Okay. And he was I was interested in wondering what do they do? You know, how is it? Are they compensated? How comfortable does he feel working for the labor? Working down at the docks.
What did he say?
And he loves it.
Okay.
He loves what he does. He does see some people that are stressed out about the job because some days they can go down there and may not have work, or some days they can go down there and they may not get picked for jobs.
But it's an opportunity. And when you talk about the port, you also got to thank Julius Cephas, because if it wasn't for Julius Cephas, the ports, a lot of those jobs would have been shut down when Kendall Morgan was trying to come in. So we got to thank Julius Cephas and his lovely wife Nina for instructing him on how to do things. But the port is a great opportunity to give people jobs. When we do this expansion, and you know, Tom Gordon's involved, Sam Guy, several other people, we will get that done with Booby Jack and Komoko. More jobs, build more homes, build a better economy, because the one thing when we knock on all these doors in these campaigns, people want to work. And we want to give them the opportunity to work. And people who have records, re-entry, it allows people to come down and work as well.
Now, one thing that I want to also mention is the fact that I'm going to actually say this publicly. For the past 6 to 7 years, I've been working in corporate America.
Okay.
And I think it's now come to a point in time where I'm ready for a change.
Okay,
and
good.
that's the reason why I was talking to my friend yesterday, because I was like, maybe it's just a shift I need, just something different. You
got to step out on faith.
Exactly.
Step out on faith. Get your plan together, get your financing together. But what you do while you're working with somebody else, you save some money and start working your plan and gradually get in, because all the time you can't do it all at once.
Exactly.
But I'm an entrepreneur. I've helped many people, my Velda and I, become business owners and given opportunities, and you just got to believe you can. It's like nothing's here. You got to step out on faith and say, I believe I can, and do it. And any way we can help you, we're going to help you.
Okay. Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it first. So if something happened,
no, you just give it a try. I mean, if you're not successful, you get up and try again.
Yeah, Einstein failed many a times. It wasn't on the first try that he was successful, and a lot of people aren't successful on the first try, and that's not what I'm looking for. What I want to see now in the city of Wilmington is I want to see the opportunities given. I want to see opportunities available.
Right.
That's what we are lacking right now, that's what I hopefully when we have our new city treasurer, that will change. We will have the budget available so that we can have jobs available. We will have the right people in the right spots at the right time for such a time as this.
That's right, because she's going to cut waste and do some things to help save some money. And you got to have somebody who is qualified. And I know she likes to say, look behind the curtain to see the person's qualifications. But I do want to announce the fact that McKee Booker tomorrow is going to be having a panel at St. Paul's Church. and that starts at 6 o'clock. Big McKeeb, as we call him, has been doing a great job.
Yes,
you know, Keeb?
definitely. I know him. Yes,
Yeah,
very
so-
well. He's been an active figure in the city for a while now, and every time I see him, he's always doing something positive. So every time that he's doing an event, I try to make my way down to it because we need to support each other.
Right, and like Reverend Donald Morton, who's getting ready to take over the church with, you know, where his mother's at.
Yes.
He's doing a great job, so I want to give a shout out to Dr. Reverend Donald Morton because he's doing a great job. And we miss you, Ty, tonight. Deneen, we miss you.
Yes.
Abundance Child, we miss you. And we know you all are out there doing great things. So we're going to keep it going. So you want to close out with anything? Anything special happening? Anything you know you like to look on the...
October 22nd, 2016, I'm having my first open mic night. It's going to be at Artscape 205 North Market Street, Wilmington, Delaware. If you would like to purchase tickets, you may do so. You can give me a call at 302-521-3041. Official tangible tickets will be on sale September 15th. We are very excited for this event, and we hope to see all your faces. You can also look at Facebook, and there will be a post up soon about the event.
And you know, all you seniors, everybody out there, not just the seniors, all the citizens of Wilmington, we got an important election to come up, and I'm asking you, you know the work that the Potter family has done in this community, how we love you and how you love us back, to get out and vote for Velda on September the 13th. Every vote counts. We want to make sure that you don't waste any votes. Vote Velda for city treasurer. We're going to run the commercial with Sherry Congo endorsing Velda. She has many endorsements, which we're very happy about. So we're going to turn it over to Ivan and just let him do his thing. We'll see you again next Monday.
Next Monday. And this is the Bottom
Line.